Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony, and welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. And today, what I want to talk about is a little bit of Daniel Jones. Before we get into that, I want to preview a video that I'm going to be doing this weekend. We're going to do the BNA Sports Podcast. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to have all the clips or whatever, but that doesn't really matter. We're going to do a Drew Brees rant, and then we're going to review the top 50 quarterbacks that somebody put out. And I think one Giants quarterback is severely underrated on that list. But let's get into the actual video today. I want to discuss about Daniel Jones and the Air Coryell offense. So when I did the Jared Goff film review, what I noticed was Jared Goff's screen game wasn't good. You know, Todd Gurley went from one of the best pass catching running backs to one of the worst. He had like a 20-something PFF grade. It was awful. I was watching it, often throwing at Todd Gurley's feet, him dropping it. It was just a big mess. And yeah, with the Air Coryell offense with Daniel Jones, what they're going to do, I was thinking about maybe a zig while everyone else is zagging. You know, with the screen game, a lot of teams are just getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands fast, especially with a good offensive line now. You have Andrew Thomas, Kevin Zeitler's coming back. You know, Nate Solder isn't that bad. He can fill in at that right tackle spot, and I'm not sure what we're doing at center. But, you know, you have a decent offensive line now where Daniel Jones can trust himself. He could trust himself in the pocket. Jared Goff didn't have a great pocket presence. He wasn't able to move his feet, but Daniel Jones is. Now, Chris Sims came out with his top 40 quarterback rankings, and we saw pretty much the same thing. I kind of under-highlighted how that screen game wasn't good. I kind of just brushed it aside when I was reviewing it on film. I was like, yeah, that's not that bad of a thing. I thought it was more on, Todd Gurley. But looking at it, Todd Gurley, he averaged 3.8 yards per rush last year. So did his backup running back, so it's not like Todd Gurley fell off a lot. Him and Malcolm, I think his name is Malcolm Brown, the backup quarterback for LA, they both averaged pretty much the same amount of yards last year as this year. So the common denominator is the offensive line. I don't think both of them got that much worse. But, Daniel Jones, I'm worried about what I'm worried about in this offense, which is kind of what this video is about. I'm worried that, he's not going to use Saquon Barkley as much, and I think that we may become a little bit predictable because a lot of teams have seen the Air Coryell offense. We're not, reinventing the wheel, and even if we were, I'd kind of be a little bit, concerned about that. But anyway, so, I am concerned about our deep routes, and, it's just a bunch of vertical routes. And I'm not sure if we have a Jason Witten like the Dallas Cowboys had. I was watching a film review by The Entertainer, and he was showing, Jason Witten's open in these. Can Evan Ingram be like a guy like that? Can Caden Smith develop into a guy like that? That's kind of the concerns I have. I do like our offensive line. I think it's better than what Dallas's was in 2011, 2012. They had a regressing offensive line back then. They weren't as good. I didn't think they had Zach Martin at the time. I think they drafted him in 2012 with Johnny Manziel. I'm not too sure when Johnny Manziel came out. It might have been 2014. Anyway, so I'm not too sure if they had guys like that. And we've seen Jason Garrett's offense has worked in the league, but with the Air Coryell, the Eagles, the Redskins, and the Cowboys themselves had played against it over and over and over again. And what's his name? Who came out and said it? I think it was Plaxico Burress or Amani Toomer came out and said, our guys are lacking. Our Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, I'm not too sure if they're good enough. Golden Tate can't really provide that much separation. We don't have a deep threat. We need Darius Slayton to be that deep threat for us. And, that's the only way I can see this offense working. You need a Benjamin Victor, one of these guys to step up, and that's one of the key things. We need a rookie. Benjamin Victor, 6'4", whatever pounds. He's in Ohio State. I hear good things about him, and he's going to be one of the guys that needs to really step up for offense to work. And as crazy as that is to say, that's kind of the truth of it. You need those deep threats. You need maybe a Derek Dillon even. He's fast. You need that guy who can take the top off the defense. And you need those veterans that are going to be able to find zones. Sterling Shepard, he's going to need to be able to find those zones, use his experience that he's had in the past couple of years, know the defense and realize where he's going to be open. But it's a lot of vertical routes. Saquon Barkley, are his numbers going to be great in the screen game? I don't know, but I trust him more than Jared Goff. The point with Jared Goff is just he wasn't consistent enough. He gets rattled in the pocket, inconsistent, mechanics. The pass blocking was good enough for them, and I think that, the Giants, Daniel Jones is going to be able to stay afloat. He's been working, and there's a team report that recently came out that by The Athletic, Dan Dugan, whatever, he said he's put on some weight, so he's more than 230 pounds. So, he's 230 pounds out, meaning that he's going to be willing to take hits this year. He was willing to take hits last year, but now he has some more weight on him to be able to, absorb those more. Also, he reached out to former coach David Cutcliffe and quarterback Tony Romo so he can master this offense, so I'm not too worried about him mastering the offense. I'm worried about other teams and our wide receiver core not being able to suffice for that. But, we have a great running back, and we saw Ezekiel Elliott, what he's able to do over those past couple of years. And, so the thing is, Daniel Jones, according to Chris Sims, he's a top 22 quarterback. He hasn't mentioned him yet. He mentioned Sam Darnold at 23, Jared Goff at 24. So, Daniel Jones is around a top 20 quarterback in this league, and he needs to take a big step up this year. I have some concerns about our offense, but, every offense has some concerns. He needs to be able to use his feet and mobility more. That's something Jared Goff cannot do and was not able to do. He's athletic, can throw on the run a little bit. He's underrated in that sense, but he doesn't really have that pocket presence. And Jared Goff, even in his first year, we saw, Daniel Jones in his first year, we saw way more flashes than what we saw in a Jared Goff. And it seems like, over the past 2-3 years, it was a little bit of a fluke and a little bit of a Sean McVay magic in his offense rather than, Jared Goff making plays. But, Jared Goff is still good. He was the first overall pick. But hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think. What concerns do you have about the offense? Do you agree with Amani Toomer or Plaxico Burress, whoever said we're a little bit lacking? And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.